What's happening, YouTube, Facebook, Dailymotion, and everywhere else you're watching this? Anthony Marsh on Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film / PRLostGalaxy2014, and welcome to my brand new review on the Marvel Legends GamerVerse Avengers Atmosphere Iron Man, Atmosphere armor figure. And this is one of those few figures of Marvel Legends I wanted to get my hands on. And by the by, this is my very first Iron Man toy ever because, as much as I've been a fan of Iron Man in the MCU and Iron Man in other media, mainly the MCU incarnation, but this is the video game. This is the Iron Man from the video game of Marvel's Avengers that is on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and other platforms the game may be available on. Although I have not played the game at the time I'm recording this and releasing this yet, but when I do get my hands on Marvel's Avengers on PS4 or Xbox One or either platform the game may be on, I will check out the game, and I know this is probably going to be an unlockable costume skin for Iron Man when I get my hands on it. So when you look at this is what the front of the packaging looks like, and I'm stoked to take a look at this figure in itself. This is what the front and side looks like, showing Thor, Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, and I'm sorry, I don't know what her name is, but I know she's in the front of the game, probably some new character or something, and the same graphic on this side. And on the back shows details about, Tony Stark and how he is as Iron Man on the back here. And on the back here shows all the 6 figures to build a Joe Fixit figure, which looks more like the Hulk in a tuxedo and a gangster hat on or so, but it kind of does look like Hulk, but it's some character named Joe Fixit. Although when I saw this particular figure, this is basically Thor, but it's basically Marvel's Thunderstrike, an alternative version of Thor, pretty much. But now that I already have Iron Man, in order to complete the Joe Fixit figure, I gotta collect the following figures of Captain America. I will get this Captain America soon, plus Falcon, Jocasta, and Marvel's Kang the Conqueror, and the Thunderstrike. Again, this is just an alternative Thor figure, but with a different name, making it more like a doppelganger of that character. But you can tell Mjolnir and the hammer. But I'm really surprised how I really got this, because this was a figure I really wanted to get out of the moment just to get my Iron Man collecting going, because I'm a fan of the Tony Stark character. But again, this is not the MCU Iron Man, this is the Iron Man again from the video game. So let's take a look and see how it stands out so far, because I want to get started on the collection. But anyway, Avengers assemble. Alright everyone, now I got Iron Man out of the box. Let's take a look at some accessories, but there isn't that much, so I'm basically going to cut the review short because there isn't really much to talk about besides certain details, articulation features, paint apps, and everything else about this figure, and as well as the way how I'm going to talk about the Tony Stark head when I get to it. The first is, of course, the Joe Fixit arm, because again, this looks more like Hulk's hand than, well, again, I really like the way how this Marvel Legends stuff is going so far, because this is my second Marvel Legends I ever reviewed on my channel or everywhere else, because just look at that. Now this is how the arm will look once I get Joe Fixit, when I get the other 5 figures to complete this, complete the wave to complete this character, and I really like that so far. But I really am amazed with the interchangeable hands, where you get a balled fist for Iron Man, and also one of the hands when he does the with the pulsar rays, the holes of the pulsar rays coming out from his hands as usual, because that's part of the signature iconography on Iron Man's costume, and as well as his tech weapons in in the franchise, and it's within comics and movies. As for Iron Man itself, so there isn't really much to talk about besides the figure, because I really want to talk about the figure and some of its details. The first being the Tony Stark head, because I really wanted to talk about this, because now, as much as I like the Tony head, something is a little weird about this head sculpt. Why does this look like this is like a cross between Ethan Hawke, actor Ethan Hawke, and with a blend of in some of the facial likenessing in terms of the facial features for the head sculpt for Tony Stark? Why does he look a little bit like if Henry Cavill from, you know, the Snyderverse of the DC extended universe and Man of Steel, you know, Superman to be, you know, like if, you know, Henry Cavill Superman became Iron Man. Because while I like the head of Tony Stark for this, but it kind of does look a little bit like Henry Cavill to me. But again, Henry Cavill's Superman, Robert Downey Jr. in the MCU was Iron Man. So, I mean, but it seems like it's a resemblance to how he looked. Also how the Tony Stark character looks in the game, because this is what he looks like in the game, particularly the way how he looks. And, you know, it's not a bad, you know, head of him, if only if it didn't look too much like a certain actor that has nothing to do with the Marvel Cinematic Universe or Marvel in general, because, you know, that's something. But, okay, well, I also popped the head on, and I thought the head was not that hard to take off, to put on and, you know, pull off. And, you know, okay, so that was the easy part, because when I did my review, well, when I do my review on another Marvel Legends I have, yeah, and also the Iron Man figure, the Iron Man helmet pops on and pops off a little easy if you take it off, because, wow, I can't believe the joint is that easy. But what I really want to talk about is the paint apps. The paint apps are glorious. I really like the way how they put this metallic, chromy blue shimmer to the armor, and this is incredible. If only if I had a, let's say, Halo action figure from Jazzwares, like a Master Chief figure, and Master Chief had all of the chromy green to him, or some other character, and then that's exactly what this Iron Man reminds me of. Because, again, I've never had an Iron Man as an action figure before, but this is a really incredible figure for Marvel and Hasbro to do. And I really liked the way how they actually did the chrome finish on this figure. And just look how liquefying the color of the paint is. It's beautiful. I love it. I really like the way how the articulation is on some joints, because articulation is just like every other action figure from Hasbro. You know, the knee joints and knee pivots. Ankle pivots is limited because due to the rubber shin piece to the legs of the armor, so you can't really do much movement to the feet, because that's another thing you can't do on this figure. I mean, if you did it on some other Iron Man figure, I guess you can try to do that, but unfortunately you can only do knee pivots and knee joints, knee crunches, and you can't really do much with the feet, unfortunately. The arms, you can't, move them back and forth and get a butterfly joint to the arms, but you can move the arms up and down, so you can do that on both arms, and you can do that. You can do the butterfly joint on the abdomen, and it can go up and down very well too, so that can work. You can bend the joints to the hands in order to give Iron Man that pulse ray when he blasts his opponents and does anything else with this pose. And also, knowing I had to put the fist, to make a certain pose with the fist, I'll do that, because this is how Iron Man would look when he's like one fist, he has like the hand open and the other fist will be clenched closed, balling up a fist, and then it can be the opposite on the other side. So that's another thing I like. And also the lower abdomen can turn very, very well, so that's another thing you can do. As for the head, though, you can't really move as much with the head, both the Tony Stark and Iron Man heads, because all you can do is because due to this part of the armor restricting any further head movement, you can't do the 360, you can't do a bunch of 550, 700, 720, movements to the head and spin his head all around, because that's only if I had Marvel characters, not Iron Man, or, like Captain America or Spider-Man or Thor or Hulk or anybody else from the Marvel Universe to do that head movement, and especially characters who have longer hair, like Jean Grey or Gwen Stacy or something like that, or Black Widow. But you can't do that kind of movement with the head for Iron Man. If I had another Iron Man Marvel Legends, I hope I can try to do that. But for the atmosphere armor one, you can't really move much of the head, so that's another thing you can't do. I really like the way how this figure came out so far, although I haven't played the video game yet. But again, like I said, when I get the game on my PlayStation 4, I'll play the game. I know the game wasn't well received as much, and I know probably some did enjoy the game. That's great. But until when I play it, I will take a stab of it and see if it was as good or bad or just mediocre as people say it is. Oh yeah, and also the upper legs, you can turn the upper legs around too, because you can do that. But while the right leg, you can move it a little well, but I think you need to turn it a little bit in order for the leg joints, the upper and lower leg joints, to move much further and more smoother, because you can do that very well on that. So overall, this is a decent figure. So in final thoughts, in conclusion, I really like how this figure came out so far. It can work very well with the rest of your Avengers collection, Iron Man collection, and I know I just got started doing an Avenger because I really wanted to get my hands on this in time for the holiday season. But you know what? This was worth a pickup, and if you're an Iron Man fan, a Marvel fan, Avengers fan, Marvel Legends collector, this is a must-have. So I highly recommend it for both kids and adults. Mainly the adult market, because I'm mainly aiming the video for adult collectors who want to collect Marvel Legends especially. And also I just want to get started on Marvel Legends much further. So this just began it. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Anthony on PRLostGalaxy2014. I'll see you guys next time with a brand new review and more Marvel Legends to come. Thanks for watching.